What if I told you that some of the most powerful leaders in American history were hiding secret struggles? The men and women who shaped this nation didn't always have it easy. Behind the charisma, the speeches, and the image of strength, many of the first families were battling health issues, disabilities, and even physical deformities that they worked tirelessly to keep hidden from the public. You might be surprised to learn that even the most iconic figures faced challenges that were kept out of the spotlight. From presidents who couldn't walk without help, to leaders who dealt with crippling pain, these stories are rarely told, until now. Stick with me as we reveal the hidden health battles of 20 US presidents and their families. Some of these stories might shock you, others might break your heart, but they all show just how human even the most powerful leaders can be. 1. Abraham Lincoln, Marfan Syndrome. Let's start with Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president and arguably one of the greatest leaders in American history. Known for his towering height and long limbs, Lincoln's distinctive physical appearance might actually be the result of Marfan syndrome, a genetic condition that affects the connective tissue. Marfan syndrome can cause a person to have a tall, thin body type, with long arms, legs, and fingers. Lincoln's physical features match many of the symptoms of the syndrome, and it's believed that this condition could have been a contributing factor to his chronic back pain, which he reportedly suffered from for much of his adult life. This condition was likely never diagnosed during Lincoln's time, but historians have speculated that Marfan syndrome could have contributed to his physical discomforts and his distinctive gait. Despite these challenges, Lincoln is remembered as a leader who not only navigated the country through the Civil War but also left a legacy of freedom and unity. He didn't let his condition define him. Instead, he rose above it, becoming one of the most revered figures in American history. 2. John F. Kennedy, chronic back pain and Addison's disease. Moving on to John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States. JFK was known for his youthful energy and his dynamic presence on the world stage. But behind the charisma and charm, Kennedy was battling a series of chronic health issues, some of which were hidden from the public eye. First, Kennedy struggled with chronic back pain, which stemmed from an injury he sustained during World War II. He had a difficult time with physical activity, and his back pain would often cause him to need to take long periods of rest, sometimes even while working in the Oval Office. But it didn't end there. Kennedy also suffered from Addison's disease, a disorder that affects the adrenal glands, leading to symptoms like extreme fatigue, weakness, and low blood pressure. Addison's disease requires lifelong treatment, and JFK relied on medications to keep his condition under control. However, he kept these struggles private, not wanting the public to see him as weak or unable to perform his duties. Despite these challenges, he became one of the most beloved and dynamic presidents in American history, handling crises like the Cuban Missile Crisis and pushing forward monumental civil rights legislation. 3. Eleanor Roosevelt, scoliosis and emotional pain. Let's talk about Eleanor Roosevelt, one of the most influential First Ladies in American history. Not only did she redefine the role of the First Lady, but Eleanor also dealt with significant personal challenges that shaped her life. While many are aware of her political achievements and humanitarian work, few know about the physical pain she endured due to scoliosis, a condition that causes the spine to curve abnormally. Eleanor's scoliosis caused her constant discomfort, and over the years, it led to severe postural problems. Her condition made it difficult for her to maintain an upright posture and affected her ability to move freely. Yet, she rarely let her physical struggles show in public. Instead, she channeled her pain into her work, dedicating her life to social justice, human rights, and the welfare of women and children. But it wasn't just physical pain that she faced. Eleanor also dealt with emotional pain. She had a difficult childhood, and her marriage to Franklin D. Roosevelt, while deeply loving, was fraught with its own emotional challenges. Eleanor faced loneliness and heartache throughout her life, yet she continued to push forward, using her experiences to advocate for the rights of others. Despite these personal battles, Eleanor Roosevelt became an icon of strength and resilience. 4. Franklin Pierce, chronic depression and emotional struggles. Now, let's take a look at Franklin Pierce, the 14th President of the United States. Pierce's presidency is often overshadowed by the Civil War and the leadership of Abraham Lincoln, but Franklin himself faced immense personal struggles that affected his time in office. Franklin Pierce was deeply impacted by the tragic death of his son, Benny, just before he took office. The grief and sorrow that came from losing his only surviving child left Pierce emotionally shattered. Many historians believe that this personal tragedy triggered a period of severe depression that lasted throughout his presidency. Pierce's emotional struggles were kept private, as the public wasn't aware of how much he was suffering internally. In addition to his depression, Pierce's lack of clear decision-making during his presidency is often attributed to the mental toll of his personal loss. His emotional state made it difficult for him to navigate the complex political issues of his time, and this contributed to the inability of his administration to make lasting impacts. Despite these struggles, Franklin Pierce did not publicly acknowledge the toll that his depression and grief took on him, leaving his personal battles largely hidden from history. 5. Woodrow Wilson, stroke and long-term health problems. Next, let's talk about Woodrow Wilson, the 28th President of the United States, known for leading the country during World War I and for his efforts to establish the League of Nations. However, what many people don't realize is that Wilson's presidency was deeply affected by his own health problems. In 1919, Wilson suffered a severe stroke that left him partially paralyzed and unable to fully function. His physical and mental capabilities were significantly impaired, which made it difficult for him to perform his presidential duties. For a time, Wilson was unable to speak clearly, and his ability to make decisions was seriously compromised. What makes Wilson's story particularly remarkable is that his illness was largely kept secret from the public. His wife, Edith Wilson, effectively took on the role of managing his presidential duties, making key decisions on his behalf and keeping the details of his health hidden from the public eye. The fact that the country continued to function in a time of national and international crisis, with Wilson physically absent, speaks volumes about the dedication and strength of those around him, but also highlights how hidden disabilities can impact leadership in profound ways. 6. Chester A. Arthur, Bright's disease, chronic kidney disease. Let's talk about Chester A. Arthur, the 21st President of the United States. While he may not be one of the most famous presidents, Arthur faced a hidden struggle that would have affected his ability to lead, if not for the way he kept it under wraps. Arthur suffered from Bright's disease, a chronic kidney condition that often leads to kidney failure. It's believed that Arthur's health was deteriorating throughout his presidency, but he managed to keep this a secret from the public. He was frequently in pain, and his health problems were so severe that his aides had to help him manage his condition during long days in office. Despite his suffering, Arthur's public image remained that of a strong and composed leader. Many historians believe that his illness likely influenced his political decisions and even contributed to his decision not to seek re-election after his first term. While most presidents tried to keep their personal struggles hidden, Arthur's fight with Bright's disease remained one of the best-kept secrets of the era. 7. Theodore Roosevelt, physical limitations after gunshot wounds. Next up, we have Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States. Known for his rugged persona and adventurous spirit, Roosevelt's health wasn't as sturdy as many people thought. While he was famous for his energetic lifestyle, There was a time when Roosevelt's physical limitations were something that he struggled with in silence. During an attempted assassination in 1912, Roosevelt was shot in the chest while giving a speech. The bullet lodged in his chest, and he refused medical treatment, even continuing to deliver the speech afterward. Despite his apparent strength, Roosevelt's health was compromised by the gunshot wound and other injuries. This event only added to the physical toll that Roosevelt's body had already endured. He had suffered multiple injuries throughout his life, including broken ribs and a number of other medical issues. As president, Roosevelt's physical limitations were often overshadowed by his larger-than-life public persona, but behind the scenes, he dealt with significant pain from his injuries. His resilience is one of the reasons why he remains a beloved figure in American history. But make no mistake, his physical battles were just as intense as the political wars he fought. 8. Franklin D. Roosevelt, polio and mobility challenges. Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, is one of the most iconic leaders in American history, but his presidency was shaped by a hidden disability that he fought privately every day. In 1921, Roosevelt contracted poliomyelitis, or polio, which left him permanently paralyzed from the waist down. Most people didn't know the extent of his disability, as he worked hard to keep it from the public eye. He would often appear to be walking or standing with the help of leg braces and his aides, and he used a wheelchair in private. Roosevelt's ability to hide his disability and still lead the country through the Great Depression and World War II was remarkable. He became the longest-serving president in U.S. history, winning 4 terms. Despite his paralysis, Roosevelt was known for his energy, his decisiveness, and his determination. His disability never stopped him from making the tough calls that helped shape the modern world. Yet, behind that public strength, Roosevelt's battle with polio was ongoing. His daily struggle with mobility challenges and the physical pain he endured is a testament to his incredible resilience. Roosevelt didn't let his condition define him, and it certainly didn't stop him from leading a nation during some of its darkest times. 9. William Howard Taft, obesity and related health issues. Moving on to William Howard Taft, the 27th President of the United States, whose story is a little different from most. Taft was famously known for being overweight, and his size became a subject of public attention during his presidency. But Taft's obesity wasn't just a matter of appearance. His weight led to serious health problems, including gout and other joint issues. Taft was often in pain because of his weight, and he struggled with mobility. It is said that he once got stuck in a bathtub at the White House, and that incident became the subject of jokes and ridicule. Despite the attention his size brought, Taft's health issues were far more serious than anyone realized at the time. His weight contributed to his difficulty in staying active, and his struggle to maintain the energy levels needed to perform the duties of president. In fact, Taft himself was so concerned about his health that he later underwent surgery to try to lose weight after his presidency. While his struggles with weight and health became public knowledge, Taft was also known for his intelligence and political savvy. He continued to serve in other high-profile positions after leaving the presidency, including as Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. But his battle with obesity and the toll it took on his health was an ever-present challenge for him. 10. Ronald Reagan, Alzheimer's disease. Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States, is remembered as one of the most charismatic and influential leaders in modern history. But behind that charm and charisma, Reagan was hiding a devastating truth about his health. In the years after his presidency, Reagan was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, a progressive neurodegenerative disorder that affects memory, thinking, and behavior. What many people didn't know at the time was that Reagan was likely already experiencing early symptoms of Alzheimer's while still in office, though it wasn't officially diagnosed until much later. Reagan's mental decline was hidden from the public, as he continued to appear in public events and deliver speeches. However, those closest to him noticed changes in his memory and behavior. As president, Reagan had a reputation for his ability to communicate and his quick wit, but his ability to recall important details and make sound decisions began to suffer toward the end of his second term. After leaving office, Reagan and his family made the decision to share his diagnosis with the world, helping to raise awareness about Alzheimer's disease. His courage in revealing his illness was an important moment in the public's understanding of the disease. Reagan's battle with Alzheimer's was a reminder that even the most powerful individuals can face the ultimate test of human vulnerability, the loss of their own mind. 11. George Washington, physical weakness and health issues. Now, let's look at George Washington, the first President of the United States and the man who laid the foundation for the American Republic. While Washington is celebrated as a larger-than-life figure, his personal health challenges are often overlooked. Washington struggled with a number of physical issues throughout his life, including chronic dental problems. In fact, he had very few of his own teeth left by the time he became president, and he wore dentures made of a variety of materials, including ivory and metal. His dental issues were painful and, at times, left him unable to speak or eat comfortably. In addition to his dental struggles, Washington also suffered from various illnesses, including malaria and smallpox. These health challenges didn't stop him from becoming a military leader or president, but they were a constant part of his life. His resilience in the face of physical discomfort is a testament to his determination and strength. Though these personal battles with health were kept largely out of the public eye, Washington's ability to lead the country while dealing with chronic pain and health problems only adds to his legacy as a symbol of strength and perseverance. 12. Harry S. Truman, heart disease. Let's move on to Harry S. Truman, the 33rd President of the United States. Truman is often remembered for making the monumental decision to drop the atomic bomb on Japan during World War II, but behind the scenes, he was struggling with heart disease. Truman had been dealing with health problems long before he became president. He had a history of high blood pressure and, by the time he took office, he had already suffered a mild heart attack. His health continued to decline throughout his presidency, and he was often plagued by physical exhaustion and shortness of breath. Despite his declining health, Truman's determination to lead the country through the final stages of World War II and into the post-war era was unwavering. His doctors advised him to take it easy, but Truman didn't let his heart condition stop him from making critical decisions. After leaving office, Truman continued to battle heart disease, and it wasn't long before he had to undergo surgery to relieve the strain on his heart. Truman's struggle with heart disease remained a private battle, and he rarely let it affect his public duties. His ability to continue serving as president despite these health challenges speaks to his grit and resilience as a leader. 13. John Quincy Adams, chronic health issues. Next up, we have John Quincy Adams, the 6th President of the United States and the son of John Adams, the 2nd President. While John Quincy Adams was known for his diplomatic skills and his strong stance on issues like slavery and national expansion, he faced chronic health problems throughout his life. One of his most enduring struggles was with gastrointestinal issues, which plagued him for much of his adult life. These chronic stomach problems caused him significant pain and discomfort, and it's said that they affected his mood and energy levels. Despite this, Adams remained a dedicated public servant, continuing to serve as a congressman after his presidency. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Adams' health struggles was his ability to remain engaged in politics despite his constant pain. His resilience allowed him to maintain a prominent role in the government, even as his body grew weaker. His ability to continue his work despite these physical limitations is a testament to his commitment to the country and his unwavering resolve. 14. Thomas Jefferson. Chronic digestive problems. Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, is remembered for his role as a founding father, the author of the Declaration of Independence and the Louisiana Purchase, but behind all his achievements, he struggled with chronic digestive problems that caused him considerable discomfort throughout his life. Jefferson was known to suffer from gastrointestinal issues that affected him for many years. His digestion problems were severe enough that they influenced his daily life, and he had to be careful about what he ate and how he managed stress. Jefferson also dealt with a number of headaches and physical discomforts that were likely tied to his digestive issues. Despite his ongoing health struggles, Jefferson remained one of the most influential figures in American history, overseeing the acquisition of vast territories and the establishment of a new government. His ability to push through his personal health challenges while making major decisions for the nation is a testament to his strength of character. 15. Lyndon B. Johnson. Heart disease. Let's talk about Lyndon B. Johnson, the 36th President of the United States, who took office after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. LBJ is known for his work on civil rights and his leadership during the Vietnam War, but his presidency was also marked by his struggles with heart disease. Johnson had a history of heart problems, including a heart attack that occurred while he was in office. His heart disease became a significant concern as his presidency continued, with doctors warning him to reduce his stress levels and take better care of his health. However, Johnson's aggressive political style and high-pressure job made it difficult for him to slow down. Despite his deteriorating health, Johnson remained active in politics and was instrumental in passing landmark legislation like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. His heart disease, however, continued to plague him, and he eventually decided to step down from seeking re-election in 1968, partly due to the toll it took on his health. 16. Gerald Ford. Knee injuries and health issues. Gerald Ford, the 38th President of the United States, had a reputation for being one of the most physically active presidents, but behind his athleticism was a long history of knee injuries and physical health problems. Ford had been an athlete throughout his youth and young adult life, playing football at the University of Michigan. However, his athletic career came with its share of injuries. He had undergone multiple surgeries on his knees due to injuries sustained during his time as a football player. These injuries left him with chronic pain and mobility issues, which affected his ability to perform his duties. In fact, Ford's knee problems were so severe that they were a major factor in his decision to undergo surgery while in office. Despite the pain, Ford continued to serve the country and remained active in his duties. His strength and perseverance in the face of physical challenges were part of the reason why he was able to endure the intense political pressures of his presidency. 17. Jimmy Carter. Melanoma. Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, is remembered for his post-presidency humanitarian work, but during his presidency and beyond, he faced a major health challenge, melanoma, a type of skin cancer. In 2015, Carter was diagnosed with melanoma that had spread to his liver and brain. He underwent treatments that included surgery, radiation, and immunotherapy, and he became one of the first people to survive metastatic melanoma thanks to a groundbreaking new treatment. Throughout this process, Carter maintained his public image as a devoted servant to humanity, continuing to work with his charity, the Carter Center. Carter's battle with melanoma highlighted the importance of early detection and new cancer treatments. His strength during his illness was an inspiration to many, and it showed just how resilient he was in the face of life-threatening health challenges. 18. Bill Clinton. Heart bypass surgery. Next up, let's talk about Bill Clinton, the 42nd President of the United States. Clinton is famous for his political achievements, but he also had a major health scare during his presidency and beyond. In 2004, he underwent heart bypass surgery after doctors discovered several blocked arteries. Clinton had struggled with his weight and diet for much of his adult life, and the surgery was a wake-up call. After the surgery, Clinton adopted a much healthier lifestyle, including a vegetarian diet and regular exercise, in an effort to prevent future heart problems. His openness about his surgery helped raise awareness about heart disease and the importance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. 19. George W. Bush, gallbladder surgery. George W. Bush, the 43rd President of the United States, faced a health issue early in his presidency that required gallbladder surgery. In 2002, Bush underwent surgery to remove his gallbladder after suffering from gallstones. Despite the surgery, Bush returned to work shortly after, and his recovery was relatively quick. However, the procedure highlighted the health challenges that even presidents face, showing that even the most powerful leaders can experience common health issues that require medical attention. 20. Joe Biden, chronic pain from stuttering and injury. Finally, let's talk about Joe Biden, the current President of the United States. Biden has faced a number of health challenges throughout his life, including a well-documented battle with stuttering. Biden has spoken openly about how his stutter affected his childhood and his early career. He worked hard to overcome it, and his perseverance to control it helped shape his political career. In addition to his battle with stuttering, Biden has also had to deal with chronic pain from injuries sustained over the years, including a serious spinal injury that required surgery. Biden's ability to continue his career and overcome these physical and emotional challenges is a testament to his resilience and determination. Even in the face of these personal battles, he has managed to become one of the most powerful political figures in the world today.